What's up everyone, welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be talking about this absolutely beautiful Dracaena Moonshine. Now of course these were called as Sansevierias before, but they have been reclassified as Dracaena. So here I have the Moonshine. Now of course it looks a little bit more on the green side because it is a young plant, but you will be able to see this is how it's gonna get that silver tone to it as and when it starts to mature. Now there are different varieties. What I have seen is, compared to all the other varieties, this one is not a very common one. Apart from that, this one is a little bit delicate as compared to the other varieties. These easily tend to get rotted if they are overwatered, whereas our regular varieties or the variegated ones, they can still forgive you if they have been overwatered, but these cannot handle overwatering that well. So you have to ensure that the soil mix that you are preparing for them, it has to be loose, porous, well draining, and that does not retain moisture for a very long time. In other words, these are more succulent kind of plants. They do not like excess moisture in the soil. So you can use garden soil and sand. You can use pumice, perlite as well in the mix. I try to avoid coco peat, but probably I might put a handful of it because I am from a very dry environment. If you are from a very humid environment, then please do not use any coco peat in your potting mix. So the soil has to be loose, porous, well draining. Watering, whenever the soil is completely bone dry, you can wait for a couple of days. You can even wait for weeks. They are drought tolerant plants, so it's not that you have to water them every other day. If you're going to water them every other day, your plant will die, your snake plant will rot. So be extremely careful. Talking about light, they can do well in indirect bright light, or you can offer them early morning mild sunlight before 9 a.m. I wouldn't advise you to keep this variety in low light. It won't be able to do quite well compared to our regular varieties. These varieties can handle a little bit of less light, but what I've noticed with Moonshine, they prefer a lot of indirect bright light. Try to avoid direct sunlight, especially the afternoon, otherwise the plant will get burnt. Coming to fertilizers, again they are not very heavy feeding plants. If you want to use fertilizers, you can use it once in a month or once in 2 months. Do this during the summer time because that is when they are in their active growing period. During winters, please do not add any fertilizers. As I've mentioned, these are more like succulent kind of plants, so they don't need a very organic rich soil. They can do well in poor nutrient soil as well. Now talking about pest issues, ideally I haven't seen them getting affected with pest issues, but if you have other plants that are affected with scale insects, then of course the scale insects can transfer onto them. So always do a visual check once in 2 or 3 weeks. If you notice these scale insects, you can take a Q-tip, you can put in some rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer and try to clean them off with that. Do not spray neem oil on snake plants, that can damage the leaves, so it's always better to keep a check. If you notice even one little scale insect, get rid of it then and there, because scale insects can spread pretty fast and then it is very difficult to get rid of those scale insects if they have infested your plant. So always do a visual check. This is the cutting that I had recently got. If you remember, I had put up a video that I found a piece. There is no new growth in this, but the plant does not look like it's dying, so I'm quite happy with it. Probably in few weeks or in few months, the plant might start to produce pups, but as of now there is nothing much going on. So it's a very easy low maintenance plant. If you get hold of snake plants, do add it in your collection because they hardly need any kind of attention. You can ignore them and they are going to do quite well. Even the watering is not much required for these plants. As I've mentioned, these are more like succulents. They don't need a lot of watering and they don't need a lot of care. So if you are a person who's very busy but yet wants a lot of plants, you can definitely add this in your collection and you will not regret it. That's about it guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.